Do you have kids in sports and you are comparing yourself to other moms and looking around thinking, oh my gosh, how does she do it? How does she get the kids to sports? She works, she does dinner, she keeps the house clean, all the things. It's super mom all the time. Everybody around you is amazing and you feel like you're just drowning and you just need somebody to throw you a life preserver. Well, hi friends. I'm Leah. I'm a mom of 3. I'm a full-time working mom and married, so I do have a support system there. But all 3 of my kids are at different levels of sports. 2 of them are doing travel ball, all different sports, mind you, and we don't really have a support system. So we haven't started school yet, but sports have started. So for me, I have 1 kid in volleyball, 1 in football, and 1 in softball. The 1 in softball is rec. She's my youngest, and so unfortunately sometimes her stuff takes last place, only because my 1 in volleyball is in high school, so we can't miss that stuff, and she does travel ball. And then my son in football has big goals for college, and so we have a very specific path for him, and our stuff is a lot more intense for especially him, but for those 2 than maybe many parents can relate to. But if you have more than 1 kid in sports, then you know the struggle is real and the schedule might not matter as much for you. But I just wanted to share, this is kind of how we do it, because I feel like so many parents compare themselves to other parents all the time, and then they feel like they're failing or they feel less than or whatever. Listen, if you are rocking it out on all the things, then drop your tips below, please. And no judgment to the rest of us who are just trying to get through each day, right? I would say the number 1 tip that I have, if you're in my boat though, is to give yourself grace. And no matter how chaotic and stressful it gets, make sure to stop and be appreciative of this moment. I am going through perimenopause, so I might be a little bit more emotional than usual. I don't know, but I'm kind of an emotional gal. A lot, generally, unless it's a movie of any sort. But I've always been very nostalgic, but I look back at 3, 4, 5 years ago. We moved here to Florida 6 years ago, and my kids were so little. They were so little. And of course I knew that at the time, but it doesn't seem like 6 years has gone by. And even though, like, you know, the time has passed, I look at my kids now and they're unrecognizable based on what they look like 6 years ago. So when the pictures come up either on my phone or on Facebook or something, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they were so tiny. And it really makes you stop and think, like, our life is precious. Every moment that we have is precious. So even if we're stressed out of trying to get the kids from one place to another, or trying to leave work so you can go get the kids, and then you haven't even thought about dinner yet, like, just taking a moment every day, whether that's in the car or that's, you know, on the way to work, on the way home from work, on the way home, you know, on the way to sports, while you're lying in bed, while you're brushing your teeth, whatever, taking a moment every day to just really appreciate the life that you have, no matter what you're going through. And this can be hard, because if you're going through some hard stuff, I know it can be hard to appreciate things in the moment. But I have also been through hard things, which we'll get through if you stick with me, if you subscribe to my channel and become part of this community. I'll tell you more about me. I'm going to be an open book, and I haven't had it easy. I try to keep it relative, but my childhood wasn't easy. And then I made some really stupid decisions early on in my adulthood. So that was really hard because I had to deal with that. But just in the moment, especially if you have healthy kids and they're thriving in so many different areas, and if you have a spouse and you love one another, even if you want to choke each other sometimes, just kidding, we don't want to do that. Just stopping and being appreciative of what you have really does bring you more joy and bring you, it's an attraction of like attracts like. So you will attract more good things, and it will help you just focus on the moment that you're in. In that regard, like not wishing time away, like, oh, I can't wait until this day or this year or this time and, space in our life. Like, really just soak up every moment that you have, because I'm telling you, if you're a mother, even though everybody relies on you for everything all the time, one day the kids leave, and then you just have the memories that you've made with them. And then hopefully they come home to you for more memories, but you don't have them every single day. So that's my number one tip.
Are you making a video?
No. What's up?
Nothing.
Oh, I thought you wanted to ask me a question.
Rocky's actually coming over today.
Oh, Rocky is? Oh. Tip number 2 is whenever you have stuff going on, unless it absolutely cannot wait in that moment, to stop and listen to your kids if they have a story to tell. One of the reasons why I haven't made content for YouTube is because when I have a few minutes, if my kids want to talk to me, then I try to soak up that time, because there was a time in my life when I was doing direct sales full time before I worked in an office and that sort of thing. And I would put them off over silly things like, oh, I got to make these samples, or I got to get back to a customer, or this and that. So if they want to talk to you, then stop what you're doing and talk to them and be present as much as you can.
For some reason.
In this time in your life, when you are running around and so busy and just feel so overwhelmed with all the things trying to get it done, it can be easy to tell your kids to wait or pause or hold that thought. But I have learned the hard way by making mistakes on my own plenty of times, that a lot of times we never circle back to that time when they wanted to tell you something, or they forget, and then you've lost that moment. So why is this helpful in just doing all the things? Because at the end of the day, and by the end of the day, I mean when the kids grow up and they're away, they'll remember when you ran them around and cooked dinner and all that kind of stuff, but little moments aren't going to stand out. But they will also remember if you stopped and listened to them and had conversations with them and engaged with them. And those relationships are what you're going to crave when they're out of the house. So even if it feels overwhelming now, you're going to miss those things later. You might not miss all the things. You might not miss the chaos. Some people say they do. But I think you'll definitely miss those moments when they just come out and start randomly talking to you, because they're going to be out going around doing their own thing in their own lives, which is what we want for them.
Hi.
Hey. The next tip is, as hard as it is, you can't compare yourself to other parents, because we're all different. We all do things differently, and success and a successful parenting looks different to all of us. So for some people, successful parenting as a busy working mom with kids in sports might be just getting your kids fed that day. There are times when the drive-through is what we do. Even though I feel like it's straight poison, it's delicious poison. But I'd rather give them a nutritious meal but I haven't meal planned and it's late and we got to eat. So sometimes that's a successful day. Sometimes a successful day is having prepped a meal, maybe in the crock pot, or pre-made some things and then I can finish it up, or something super simple so I can whip it up in plenty of time. That might be just as much time as it would have taken to go out to eat, and it is healthier. So when you compare yourself to other parents, you don't really know what you're comparing yourself to, because you getting a meal on the table might look differently than them getting a meal on the table. You have different standards, different things like that. And it's all okay, by the way, because if your kids are healthy and happy and fed and have a roof over their head, then you're doing good, mama. So just remember that. We can always strive to do better. But if there are times when you are so overwhelmed and you just can't figure it out and you can't think of another thing, then done is better than none, right? So just keep that in mind. So leave the comparison at the door. If there are things that other parents do that you think, I'd like to incorporate that, make a note of it. And if you can fit that into your schedule and figure it out, then that's amazing. But if it's not the right season of life for you, then go back to the first thing that I said. Give yourself grace and save it for another day, because maybe the next day or the next season you'll do better. Quick rundown of my day today, if you're interested, just to see if you can relate and to share and get this out there. If you're still with me, hey boo boo, you the real deal, okay? So my husband and I both had to take today off work because his vehicle got his second flat of the week. It's crazy. Like, we never get flats. You get 2 flats of the week. We'd already used the spare for the first flat, and then he tried to leave football practice yesterday and another tire flat, different tire. And so we had to figure that piece out. At the same time, 2 of our kids had dental this morning. And then right after dental, my oldest had a hair appointment because it's back to school, baby. It's time. And so we had to get her to her hair appointment. Then we had to go back and try to figure out some car stuff. And then I had to go get her from her hair appointment, bring her home, take her to volleyball practice, drop her off, come back. And by the way, I did do some work in between because I do have some flexibility to be able to work from home some days, which is nice. I just don't love it because I don't love my work from home setup right now. Just something that we're trying to work on. I basically work from home at my kitchen table with my computer, which is not great. I need a whole setup for what I do, but I digress. So I was answering some things, doing some work there, and kind of going back and forth while my husband is trying to figure out his car stuff. And then, so I go pick her up from volleyball, bring her home. My husband immediately has to grab the car and put the football stuff in it and go to football practices where they are now. And it is 7:18 p.m. my time right now. And we're having leftovers tonight. So today, believe it or not, it's a pretty easy day. Because I didn't have to go to the office. So that made things a little bit easier. And I don't have to figure out dinner. Figuring out dinner is the bane of my existence. It is the quick button if you want to just really set me off. And I don't want to be that way, but my boys have learned not to ask me what's for dinner. They'll just say, hey, any ideas what you want to do for dinner tonight? And part of that is because I have ADHD. And so I just don't think about it until it's shoot, it's time to eat. And I have not figured out dinner. And part of it is just it takes up so much brain power. So I do want to come up with some meals. that I can rotate through. But I think I need like a whole month of meals and not just like a week, because my kids will get sick of stuff and they won't eat it. And I don't know, maybe I'll get sick of it too. My goal is to come up with like a month of meals that are not only kid friendly at every age and all their pickiness and all the things and allergies and things, but also macro friendly, because I want to lose some of this weight that I have put on since I have gone back to the office. I am certified as a personal trainer and double certified as a nutrition coach, so I know all the things, but the busyness and the overwhelm do make it very hard to get all the things done. And prepping my meals and planning my food is not my jam. I am not a fan of it. I don't like it, even though I know it's good for you. So that was our day in a nutshell. I'm hoping to make some more videos daily if I can. I'm really going to try to push myself out of my comfort zone and out of my overwhelm and busyness a little bit, because I do feel like sharing this could be helpful to the right person or to the right people. Or if not, maybe my kids will just like looking back on this one day when I'm gone and see that I love them and I care about people, because sometimes I can come across really but if you know me, to truly know me is to love me, and that's how I am, because I have got your back. But the biggest thing that I have learned through all this busyness and overwhelm is that the kids will be gone before we know it. And I don't know if I'll miss how busy we are, but I know that I will miss having them in my home, no matter what that is. And I love watching them do things. I love watching them play, whether it's, my 9-year-old that plays with her toys still, thankfully, or they're playing sports, or just I love watching them do things, because I don't know, life is such a miracle. It really is so incredible. And to know that I helped create that, and they're just these incredible people with funny personalities and sweet and sassy and just talented and smart. And being a mom is amazing. It's amazing. And I love it, even through the struggles. And I always have tried to focus on how amazing every phase is. And I'm so grateful that I've done that, because I haven't wished life away. And even so, it's gone way too fast for me. Way too fast for me. So hopefully, if you're still here with me, friends, I appreciate you. And I hope that we can truly connect and build this community on YouTube of imperfect mothers who are very busy and probably very overwhelmed, but family is everything. And you're just doing the best you can, not only to survive it, but to thrive through it, and try to better yourself as much as you can while still giving yourself some grace. So hopefully I'll be posting another video tomorrow. If not, then come hound me and say, hey, Leah, where's your video? But if you have other questions about being a sports mom, about health and nutrition on the journey without having to be perfect, then I'd love to hear from you. Just drop it in the comments, and I'll see you next time.